Hello, my fellow internet viewers, to episode 39 of Weird Mind Newsroom. Now, don't look at me, I'm quite exhausted. I haven't been sleeping properly lately. But I hope you all are ready for another week of new releases, some trailers, and all the news stories that we have for this week. So, enough wasting time, and let's get into what came out this week.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
So we start the week of the first of these superhero movies of this year, and this is coming to us from Marvel, but not particularly the MCU, but rather more in the Sony Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it. And this, of course, maybe the closest to having Spider-People in it. We'll get to that. But we are talking, of course, about the new film of Madame Web. Now, this will follow Cassandra Webb, a paramedic in New York City who, after a near-death experience, taps into a sense of clairvoyancy and soon becomes the protector of three young women who are destined for much powerful futures for being killed by a sadistic man in a familiar-looking suit. Now, reception on this movie has been absolutely polarizing, to the point where it's even worse reviewed than Morbius, which is a feat I didn't even think was possible. Basically, mainly due to its lack of action, its compelling characters or villain, and the case of having very little to do with Spider-Man in particular. Supposedly the trailer is very clickbaity. However, some praise has gone towards some of the filming styles and editing, as well as some cases with Dakota Johnson's performance in certain scenes. Now, I haven't seen it myself. I know people who have and said it's so bad it's good movie like The Room or Birdemic, Shock and Terror, which sounds like a good watch to me. But I'll have to see for myself, and you can too as well when it's available now in cinemas. But if superhero movies are not your interest for this week, and much prefer the case of something of a bit more of a musical tone, then you can check out the all-new release of the musical biopic of Bob Marley, One Love. Now, this will follow the life of a famous reggae Jamaican musician as he overcomes adversary and becomes the most famous reggae singer in all of the world, and help bring some peace to a very divided Jamaica at the time. Now, reception on this film may be better than the first movie we talked about, but it is a bit more mixed, with great praise to the performance of Kingsley Ben-Adir, and musical performances as well are pretty good. However, it is suffering from the case of the generic movie musical biopic kind of aesthetic, so it might be a detractor to it. But if you want something to feel good to watch, then you can check out the new film now in cinemas. Now for a blast to the past with a bit of a fresh coat of paint as we return to a long dormant series based on everyone's favorite plumber and the tie-wearing ape, with a new remaking imagination of the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong. In this game, you will be taking on the mustachioed plumber as he goes across vast lands to obtain back his new toy-making investment of the Mini Marios, as the great ape has stolen all the minis for himself, and you must puzzle your way to get them back. Now, the reception on this new game remake has been pretty good received for its visuals, new worlds and puzzles, and the multiplayer new edition as well, so you can play with friends and family. However, some critiques has been focused towards its simplistic challenges and its game length as well, which is a bit short, but you know, it's harmless. But if you want some short burst puzzle fun, then you can play it now on the Nintendo Switch. And now on to the high seas of the golden age of piracy, as we've gotten the all-new high seas pirating game from Ubisoft with the long-developed Skull and Bones. Now, this game will see you become the captain of a hearty crew as you build your crew, set sail on the high seas with your custom-built ship, find the booty, yar, and plunder enemy ships and become the ruler of the seven seas. Now, reception of this game has been modestly received for its concepts and gimmicks, but feel it can be a little repetitive and is lacking some things that built from its original prototype, which is of course Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, aka the real best Assassin's Creed, in my own personal opinion. But if you want some of the high seas adventure and a few sea shanties and the booty, then you could try out now on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And to wrap up all the new releases of this week, we are returning to the world of the series that defined badass female heroes. Besides, of course, the original Samus Aran and Metroid, in the case of badasses and nice asses, we are seeing the globe-trotting heroine of Tomb Raider return in the remastered trilogy. Now, this will delve into the remastered form with the three original games, the PS1 and Sega Saturn era, and see why everyone fell in love with this series for its action-adventure. Besides from the triangular assets, and the option to play in the original visuals or with a bit more of a more smoother look. In reception, all of the versions of the trilogy have been decently well received, which praise for its transition and visual upgrade, with some saying it may need a bit of an improvement to fix some of like the more difficult aspects from the original controls and gameplay wise. But if you're ready to dual wield the iconic pistols of this female badass, then you can check it out now on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and PC. And with that, that's all the new releases that we have for this week. Who's ready to talk about Super Bowl trailers? Of course, you know, we can talk all about things football, Taylor Swift's the sweet victory performance that finally happened this year, but that's for another different time. We are starting the trailers with the most anticipated one from the event, and that is of course our first look at the upcoming third entry of the Merc with a Mouth with Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, the trailer seems to show that Wade has worked his wonders of the cable's time watch at the end of the second movie, and may seem all is good and well, but suddenly a familiar timeline authority has come along and brings him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe himself, and he'll be sent on a special mission to solve possible time anomalies or some shit like that, as you know, he's about to become the Marvel Messiah, you know, and all in a capacity where he may end up coming into contact with a man that cannot die and have the adamantium claws. Now, the trailer shows so much and so little at once, and I am so goddamn excited, and I think this looks really great, and I will sure be learning more about this over time, and definitely going day one when this film releases on July 26th, or I think it's a day earlier here on July 25th.
Smooth talking, you insanity, insomnia, crazy man.
Thanks always. Now, one I heard rumors about, but I was expecting we were not going to get for another little bit of time, but we received a brief minute-long teaser for the upcoming first-part film adaptation of the popular Broadway musical with Wicked Part 1. Now, this will tell the tale set before, during, and after Dorothy arrives in Oz, and tell the tale of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and how she came to be that title, and the bitter rivals with her initial close friend of Glinda the Good Witch. Now, it seems what I've seen online that people think it doesn't look visually great, but I think it looks pretty good so far. I'm sure it's probably like a She-Hulk thing where they'll update the visuals over time, and I'm hoping to be more on the focus of the Wicked Witch than the Good Witch, given it's more of her story, but I'm sure we will find out when the film releases around Thanksgiving in the US on November 29th. And now for the age of the primate to begin, and the possible age of the human to end, as we have gotten an all-new trailer for the upcoming release of the newest entry of ape movies with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, the film is set 3 centuries after the events of War for Planet of the Apes, and will follow Noah, a young ape who, along with a human girl named Nova, will go on a journey to save and protect the remnants of the past from the new leader of Proximus Caesar, who has tried to banish teachings of the ape that created the freedom of his kind, of course, which was Caesar, and his plan to find and destroy the remaining aspects of human technology. Now, I have been one that has been a bit skeptical of this film due to the trilogy that came before it being just fantastic. I'm going to do a video on them some point soon. I love those movies. But I think it does look really great, and I'm hoping that it will be on the same level as those movies when we find out when this film drops into cinemas on May 10th. Now, in a film that is getting quite a surprise sequel, and this is with the follow-up slash standalone of the 1996 weather disaster movie of Twister with Twisters. Now, this will follow on from the original in a way and follow a group of storm chasers as they risk their lives in an attempt to test an experimental weather alert system, and basically, you know, multiple twisters happen or something like that. Now, I can say this has been a simple fun disaster film, but I am sure you'll see how it all comes together when the film releases here in cinemas on July 19th. And the last 3 trailers are all post-Super Bowl, and the first one we are seeing 2 of the biggest names of a Titan scale make an appearance. We received an all-new trailer for the upcoming release of the oddly titled, weird /fiction sounding Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire. Now, this film will see the kaiju and the great ape being forced to team up together. They may not like it, but they just have to work together. They don't have to like each other, as they have discovered a new threat in the sunken earth in the form of the Scar King, or, as is pretty much shown, a monkey with a massive wingspan and looks like he's actually balding. It's weird how they made him look like he has like a balding man. Now, I think these movies are a lot of fun, so to say, and even if the director who made the fantastic Godzilla -1 is saying it's a lot of fun, as he's already seen it, then I'm sure we're all in for it, as this new film will be releasing a little over a month's time on March 29th. Now, for some fantasy mix with a bit of a royal affairs, we're heading to Netflix for the all-new film that they are providing with us in the form of Damsel. Now this will follow a young woman, in this played by Millie Bobby Brown, who agrees to a marriage with a handsome prince of a royal family, but is soon discovered to be an entire setup by the family to pay off a debt curse placed on them eons ago, and soon discover that she's not the only one that's been dropped into a pit with a ferocious beast, or basically a dragon, and soon she'll use her wits and skills to escape, defeat the creature, and exact payback on the ones that caused this to her. Now I think this does look very interesting, and I know I have my gripes with the main actress as she's in nearly everything with Netflix at this point, but I think it looks like a decent fun watch, and I'll probably check this out when the film drops on the weekend before my 24th on the streaming service on March 8th. And the final trailer for this week will be the one that makes 90s fans rejoice, as we receive the first official trailer for the upcoming continuation of the animated series of mutants with X-Men 97. Now this will follow on from the original series ending that saw the passing of Professor X, and we'll see the X-Men led by Cyclops and Magneto in saving the world from evil forces and all other dastardly world-ending situations. Now it seems to be keeping a close to the look of the original with a bit of an updated feel to the animation, and while it has been a bit of a divide to some online, mainly because people thinking that they reduced the ass size of Rogue, I think it does look great, and I'll give us a look when the series begins on Disney Plus on March 20th. And with that, that's all the trailers we have for this week.
This is the way. This is the way.
And now we start the week off with some big news coming to us from more of the world of superheroes with the MCU, who have been quite cooking this week, I will say. And this is with the focus on Marvel's first family of the Fantastic Four. Now, we have known for about 3-ish years now that we are getting an all-new introduction to this team sometime in the future. That's apparently part of Phase 6, but I don't know really anymore if it's Phase 6 or not. And it's been a case that we haven't had any word about who will be cast in the lead roles of the 4 main characters, and speculation for a while has been rampant until just this week, as on Wednesday, after a lot of speculation, fan casting and predictions, and a possible outcome with one of them from a previous film, we were finally given the cast of the 4 heroes. Now, it's been confirmed that Reed Richards and Mr. Fantastic will be played, of course, by Pedro Pascal, or as he's known as the internet's Zaddy, or we may know him as Mando from The Mandalorian, or Joel from The Last of Us HBO series. Sue Storm will be played by Vanessa Kirby, who you may remember from Napoleon, I think The Crown, and Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. Johnny Storm / the Human Torch is being played by Joseph Quinn, who you remember as Eddie from Stranger Things, or in the upcoming new release of Quiet Place Day 1, and The Thing will be played by Ebon Moss-Baccarat, who you may know from the FX series of The Bear. Now, I think these are all very excellent choices, and while I wish they would still see John Krasinski as Reed Richards from the film after a Multiverse of Madness, or even maybe Emily Blunt so they work well chemistry-wise, I still think that they've done a really great job with the casting. Now, it is bringing questions if this is going to be set in the present day MCU, or if it's going to be set in the 1960s, going off the image released on Valentine's Day of all days. And it's also been rumored we may be seeing the likes of both the Planet Eater of Galactus as well as the Silver Surfer appearing in this film. There's been rumors that they're apparently casting for that one at the moment, but I have no idea. It's all rumors currently right now. But we will learn sure over time when this film releases on July 25th, 2025. Now you may be wondering, wasn't it May? Well, yes, it was, but they delayed it by 2 months. So what's replacing it? Well, it was the film that was supposed to come out in July, and that was, of course, with the Thunderbolts. Now, that's basically now been confirmed it's still coming out next year and releasing on May 3rd, 2025. Now, this one, as they're currently well into development and stuff like that as of writing and stuff, and while it does bring concern about the case that a situation of quantity over quality, it's more a case of, okay, I hope that it's an instance that maybe one of them was going to get delayed or something like that into the next year, or maybe 2, so at least it's maybe 1 or 2 films, 1 show, or 1 film, 2 shows. You get the gist. We'll have to see how it turns out. But what are your thoughts on the whole casting of the Fantastic Four, and who would have you chosen for the films, and what other characters do you think will be introduced into this next movie, and where do you think in particular is this setting? Also, do you think the Thunderbolts will be good as well? That's what I want to know as well. Let me know what your thoughts on all of it are down below in the comments, and let's discuss your predictions and choices. Now we have some news on an update for an upcoming film that we will see a new entry in the series of the 80s action films, and this is of course with the news of the upcoming new entry in the Karate Kid series. Now, a few weeks ago, we received a trailer announcement that saw both Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, who appeared in both the original Karate Kid series and the 2010 reboot with Jaden Smith, announcing that they will be both appearing in this newest film of the Karate Kid, and that the trailer was for an announcement for an audition to look for the newest lead in the series. Well, that day has come, as on Monday we got the confirmation that the new kid learning the art of karate will be Ben Wang. Now, Wang may be recognized for his role in the Disney Plus series of American-born Chinese, and in cases that I've learned that he also does speak Mandarin, as well as cases that he does partake in martial arts trainings in particular. So he does help speed the process anyway, because the film comes in December and they haven't started filming yet, which is quite a bit of a push, isn't it? But I'm sure we'll get more over time, and, you know, extra training will happen over time while they're filming. But I think it is a decent choice, and hopefully it'll be a well-made entry in the series. I'm sure we'll find out more over time how this film is going to play out when the film releases in cinemas on December 13th. But what are your thoughts on this casting, and are you excited for a new Karate Kid film? And do you see other characters from the series of films and shows appearing in it in particular? Like any from the, you know, the Karate Kid trilogy, the reboot, or even the Cobra Kai series? Let me know what you think of it all down below in the comments. And to end the news stories for this week that I've came across is talking on some of the news on some video game discussions, and this will be seeing us into the world of a galaxy far, far away. Now, as you have seen over the last decade or so, we have seen some mixed variety of video games in the Star Wars universe, with the likes of Battlefield 1 and 2 that saw the implementation of a lot of microtransactions and loot boxes. We saw some mobile games, a new single player series following a Jedi called Cal Kestis of the execution of Order 66, and 2 excellent story games, and the upcoming release of a new open world game playing as a smuggler called Outlaws. It comes as no surprise that we see an endless array of options of the Galactic Saga, and may be the case that we will see another new addition in this collection. Now, according to sources, the studio of Respawn, the studio behind the Jedi Survivor game as well as Apex Legends, is working on a game based on the Mandalorian and the Bounty Hunter guilds and stuff like that, and it'll be set in an era when the Empire has control over the galaxy. Now, this does sound like a very exciting game concept, and I've seen some forms of this in recent memory, but it may also be a game, it could be a revival of a rumored game from a long time ago that was rumored to be dead for a long time, which was Star Wars 1313. Now, that game was initially a new story-based tale that will be taking on the popular bounty hunter of, I think, Boba Fett or Jango Fett, I think. And this could be a return to that planned title with a new update change of, like, maybe a new unknown bounty hunter or of the ones we have known from film and TV, or it could be set in the Mandalorian verse or Boba Fett Django era or something, but we don't know yet. Now, at the moment, it's only rumored speculation, and it'll be unknown if we will see this being developed. I'm sure we'll probably get some announcements maybe in the next few weeks at like some of these game conventions coming up this year, but at the moment, I'm sure we'll have to see. But once I hear anything, I'll update you in a later piece. But what are your thoughts on this, and would you be down to playing a bounty hunter based Star Wars game, or even a possible return to the 1313 game with an update visual? And what other Star Wars games or characters in the past would you like to see make return? I know there was that Darth Maul game that was planned, but I don't know if that's still happening. That could work. I can definitely see that working. Let me know what your thoughts and choices are down below in the comments, and let's discuss it there. And with that, that's all the new news that we have for this week, of course.
It's Morbin time.
And with all of that discussion for this week, we reached the end of episode 39 of Weird Mind Newsroom. And I hope you all enjoy my mix of ramblings and discussions. Now, first off, before I get into the announcements, I want to say thank you for the 50 subs. I know it's not the biggest of numbers, but I appreciate every single subscriber, viewer, listener, just anyone who listens to my ramblings or look at my, like, you know, just the face of someone who's gone through the sense of insanity and sleep deprived extension. But I appreciate all of your support over the last 6 or so months, and I promise to, you know, just continue, you know, entertaining people. That's what I want to do. I might do something for 50 sub special. I'll try to figure something out, but, you know, brain is fried at this point. Anyways, some updates. That anticipation media of 2024, both of them are ready to go. I just had to do the thumbnails and shit like that, just fix up some bits and pieces on that one, so they'll be coming probably before this one or around the same time as this one, as this video, but we'll have to see. Reviews, I'm going to get into actually finishing up some of them, or at least start and finish some other ones, and hopefully we'll start pumping them out by the end of this month and by the beginning of March. Same thing with the rewatchathon. I'm going to get to, like, actually, I think I need to finish, make sure I have all the pieces ready to go, and I've watched the ones I was going to do for part 1, which is going to be from Dalmatians up to Christopher Robin, I think. That's the first 10. But yeah, it's going to be a process in slow capacity. So hopefully we'll see them in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to get some long form videos. We're going to try and figure out some ASMR shit. We're going to figure out some like story time reading stories. Might do some like experimental like skits or like video pieces, you know, kind of stuff. Like it's a case of like visual aesthetic kind of thing or some other things, but I'll figure it out over time. And yeah, there's gameplays, everything else, that'll all come. But as always, thank you for all your support, and I hope you enjoy looking forward to my content in the future. And as always, if you enjoyed what you've liked seeing here and want to see more from me, then simply like and subscribe, as I upload every week and hopefully upload more and more over time. Just gotta figure out a schedule and find some, like, you know, sense of sanity. I also hope that if you have any discussions you want to talk about, like have you seen any of the movies or shows or playing the games, if you watched the trailers or opinions on the news, I'd love to hear all your comments down below in the comments, and I'll discuss. I want to have open conversation with people, you know, kind of thing, just for anything. And of course, share around if you haven't already. If you think people might like it, then that's all great. I'd love to see more people share around and support like small communities, and like let's build a community together. Let's build a massive community, and let's be all wholesome and welcomed for one another. Anyways, that's all I have for this week. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed. You all stay being wonderful people, because you all are wonderful people. Have a great day every day, and continue being you, because no one else in the world can do what you do, and I want to cheer you on from, you know, doing great success and everything. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, everybody, and goodbye.